I did my oral presentation number 3 on when was the last Yellowstone eruption. The first thing I like to start off by saying is the question is what type of volcano is Yellowstone and how did it form? Most scientists refer to Yellowstone as a sleeping underground supervolcano. The classifications on a supervolcano are that they can erupt up to or more than 240 cubic miles of magma. Another reason for a supervolcano is that it has a magnitude of 8 on the Volcano Explosivity Index, or VEI. The VEI scale was created to measure the explosivity of an eruption. 2 of the 3 eruptions at Yellowstone have met this criteria. Yellowstone is the most diverse volcano because it has an intact group of geysers, hot springs, and mudspots. These are all openings in the Earth's surfaces that are near volcanoes that emit steam or gases. Yellowstone has over 300 geysers, which make up around 2/3 of all the geysers on the entire planet. Yellowstone is referred to as a caldera. A caldera is a cauldron that has formed from a collapse of land following a catastrophic volcanic eruption. The Yellowstone caldera measures 34 miles by 45 miles. The caldera was formed during the last 3 super eruptions over the past 2.1 million years. The Huckleberry Ridge erupted 2.1 million years ago, which created the Island Park caldera and the Huckleberry Ridge Tuff. The Mesa Falls eruption, which was 1.3 million years ago, which created the Henry Fork caldera and the Mesa Falls Tuff. The Lava Creek eruption, which was approximately 630,000 years ago, which created the Yellowstone caldera and the Lava Creek Tuff. That whole thing about the caldera and the last 3 eruptions and how long it was is cited from Wikipedia in 2017. My next question for the Yellowstone volcano is, when was the last time the Yellowstone supervolcano erupted? The last Yellowstone volcano eruption was approximately 174,000 years ago, and it was created by what is now called the west thumb of the Yellowstone Lake. A source cited right here, a National Park Service, states that the last lava flow was about 70,000 years ago. The last full-scale eruption of Yellowstone supervolcano, the Lava Creek eruption, which happened 630,000 years ago, and it ejected approximately 240 cubic miles of rock, dust, and volcanic ash into the sky. Catastrophic eruptions occur at Yellowstone approximately every 600,000 to 800,000 years. 2 of those eruptions are among the largest eruptions known to have occurred on Earth, each more than 1,000 cubic kilometers in scope. The USGS believes that the last eruption spewed out close to 240 cubic miles of debris, including red-hot pumice, volcanic glass, rock, and gas that spread as pyroclastic flows. Even now, the large magma reservoir that is beneath Yellowstone may have temperatures to exceed higher than 1,475 degrees Fahrenheit. There have also been around 30 smaller eruptions for the most recent one, which was 70,000 years ago. Sorry, I'm sick. That was cited from the National Park Service. My third question is going to be, is Yellowstone volcano still active today? And how do we know that? The Yellowstone volcano is still very active today. This has been concluded by the park's hydrothermal features. These features have shown that there is still heat beneath the area. Also, it shows that there are 1,000 to 3,000 earthquakes per year below the ground. Nothing can be done to prevent an eruption, though. Scientists start monitoring Yellowstone more than 30 plus years ago. They have said that this is very unlikely to happen in the next 1,000 or even 10,000 years, that there will be even a remotely close to an eruption. But there could be a small one, because the small ones occur more often than the big ones, of course. Scientists have formed a Yellowstone volcano observatory watch that monitors Yellowstone throughout the region. They have their own website. I looked at it, and it's pretty legit on how they're keeping an eye on this volcano, so it doesn't probably kill all of us, honestly, because if it explodes, it's going to be a big one. These monitors detect quick, strong movements or shifts in heat that would indicate increasing activity. That was cited by the National Park Service. So the next question is, what would happen today if Yellowstone did erupt? I'd run, but that's not going to do very much. So let's be real. If Yellowstone was to erupt today, the problems we would face would be much more severe than the Sumatra supervolcano that killed 60% of the population. That's a lot, and that's a lot of people. And food shortages would take place instantly, and everybody that is on the other side of the world would be affected just like everybody on that side of the world where the actual Yellowstone volcano is. The people living in the nearby areas would be affected tremendously. Probably wouldn't be able to withstand life. The surrounding states such as Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, those places would be just as bad. They would probably not stand a chance for survival as well. The lava from the eruption would probably kill most of those people. The unlikely survivors that would survive, they would asphyxiate when they tried to breathe in the air, because all they would be doing is breathing in the ash. In conclusion, if Yellowstone volcano was to erupt, this might be the extinction of life on our planet. That's what might happen. But neither nor I or you or a scientist can say that, because we never know what's going to happen in the future. My last question is, how far in advance could scientists predict the Yellowstone volcanic eruption? Most scientists believe that a Yellowstone volcanic eruption can be detected could be predicted weeks, months, or years in advance. I believe that to a certain extent. This is quoted from the USGS in 2015. Precursors to volcanic eruptions include strong earthquake swarms and rapid ground deformation, and typically take place days to weeks before an actual eruption. Scientists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, the YVO, closely monitor the Yellowstone region for such precursors. They expect that the build-up to larger eruptions would include intense precursor activities, far exceeding background levels at a multiple spot within the Yellowstone volcano. As at many caldera systems around the world, small earthquakes, ground uplift, and subsidence and gas releases at Yellowstone are commonplace events and do not reflect impending eruptions. This was my presentation on when was the last volcanic eruption at Yellowstone Park. Thank you.